out. So for anybody who wants to, grab access to it, you could let me know. So welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so many of you are familiar with coaching, and as some of you are not, but my name's Coach René. Okay, and you've seen this as we've just been pretty much loosely advertising it on social media. We're going to do something really fun here, something I hope you'll find very informative, and we'll start in a couple of minutes. But what I'm looking to do today is really showcase this Mike Ferry sales system, but specifically someone that it's worked really well for. Okay, many of you may or may not know Mr. Adam Chahl. Adam, say what's up to the group.
Good morning, superstars. Good afternoon with you guys, I think, on the
Good
East
morning
Coast.
and good afternoon. That's
There you
right.
go.
Right. So we're going to get to Adam, but I thought it's a really great idea to we've heard about different coaching systems. This that I'm a coach of and that Adam is a part of is the Mike Ferry sales system. So we wanted to know, like, how does that work? How does that coaching system work for someone who is in Canada, or someone who is in Vancouver, BC, or someone who is in a local market? What does that look like, and how did he really benefit that? Because it's a big commitment, and it's coaching in and of itself is a big commitment. So we want to know how he made it take advantage. So we have a few people with us today. I'm sure we'll have a couple more join us. And they are joining every second. So as we go in, Mr. Adam Chahl, tell us a little bit, introduce yourself. And that way, anybody who is looking for a referral, Adam's going to post his info in the chat before the end of the call. Adam, take it away. Tell us a little bit.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me, guys. And I appreciate you guys' time as well. I know we're all valuable with our time, so I appreciate you jumping on. So I've been in the business since 2008,
Okay.
which is kind of mind-boggling now. It's what's that, 50, 60 years, something like that, it feels like.
Wow.
Been with Mike Ferry since 2018, and actually had the pleasure of coaching with René personally. I think it was 2019, wasn't it, René? We
Somewhere
had
around there, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be about right. Yeah, sure.
So I think I've been in the Mike Ferry sales system probably since 2018. I would say seriously since 2020. And that's nothing to do with you, René, but I do feel like it took me a little bit of time to get bought into the system. Maybe it's my Analytics Anonymous background, but it took me a bit of a while, but here we are.
He's a bit of an analytical, so that's good to know. So I hope you guys caught that. He joined the Mike Ferry system in 2019, but it took him about a year for things to really start to percolate and digest for him, right? So I had some questions I wrote down for Adam. Please. And he's a wealth of knowledge. So here is someone who, Mike Ferry sees value in. He's been on stage at the 2023, the production retreat last year. So we have him in our small little audience today. So you'll have a chance to also ask Adam questions at the end. So Adam, so when you look at we just dive right into it. What does your typical day look like? Give us an idea of a day inside of Adam Chahl.
Absolutely, René. My schedule till 12 noon is pretty rigid. Okay. And even just having this, I think we've had this on the calendar for what, 2 weeks, René? This was causing me a bit of anxiety because I'm like 10 a.m. I'm like, I should be calling people right now.
Wow.
So I'll give you a quick example. So sure. I'm up at 5. Workout is 6 a.m. So actually 5 a.m. I'll have coffee. I'll sit for a bit. I'll do either a meditation and some gratitudes. That's the first thing right off the bat. Workout is 6 a.m.
Okay.
So get the body moving, even if it's just a stretch, even if it's just a dog walk, even if it's something, it's get the body moving.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Usually at the office at 7.
Yeah.
So I'll do any admin, any emails that need to be done just before the day gets going.
Right.
Role play 7:30. I'm on the phone at 8. So 8 till 11 is past clients, database, or new business.
Okay.
Then after 11 till 12 could be lead follow-up, and then lunch after that. So that morning schedule is rigid. That's non-negotiable.
The morning is very rigid for you. Okay, got it. And I hope everyone got that. He takes his schedule seriously. Even this call, which is 10 a.m. his time, he was debating because it's right in the middle. I appreciate that. So glad you're here. So
one thing I did René,
Yeah.
not to interrupt, one thing I did this year with my coach and our business planning is we worked out what's the value of your time while you're prospecting
Okay.
and what's the value of your time throughout your day.
Wow.
And I
And
feel
what?
as real estate agents, and Mike often touches on this, we tend to not treat this like a business. I'm not present company excluded, of course, but we tend to not treat this like a business. I have a good friend of mine, and he has a business. He can tell you what his cost per customer is, what his gross profit margin is, what the average customer spends, how often they rebuy, and these numbers are off the top of his head like this, René. Right?
Wow. And
I'd
this
be
is
there,
something you
Mr. B,
learned from your
510 an hour. See, we should know these numbers.
knowing these numbers. So this helped you, Adam. So it sounds like, you were in something that you picked up in coaching is that you pay attention now to your cost per hour. Not only that, you're paying attention, like some other people have taken it to the nth degree, gross margin per contact, growth margin per appointment, and getting really granular, treating it like a business. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
huge.
hard for a lot of people, René, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if you have any tips on that for me, it's easier because I'm more analytical.
Yeah.
But for people that are not, that can be challenging. So whether that's working with your coach or, looking those numbers up, I don't know if you have any suggestions on that.
Right. Well, you know what? There's a lot of ways to do that, is really looking at how other businesses operate, picking a
Mm-hmm.
business that's maybe around you or maybe that you see that operates very well and saying, hey, I would like to operate my business like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'd like to run my hours like that. I'd like to run my appointments like that. I had a great service at the Porsche car dealership, and I love the way that they serve you and they wait for you in the waiting room, and they, at the end, their customer service is great. But those are things you can take away and compare to your own real estate business,
It's a great
right?
call. And
Because
Weston in the chat asks, how do we calculate that? So just to answer your question, Weston, so
yeah,
I would take my income goal for this year divided by the number of hours I'm prospecting. You can do this if you're a Mike Ferry client, you have the numbers analyzer. If you're not, you can do it on a piece of paper. How many hours are you going to spend talking to people, right?
right.
For the year. And then if you're going to work an 8-hour day, a 10-hour day, what's that divided by that?
Ooh, so that's a good one right there. So right away, folks, we're diving in right into what benefits Adam sees in the coaching. He's already given us like 3 or 4, but you talked about numbers. So how important is it for you, Adam, to study your numbers, track your numbers, look at your numbers? Like, a lot of agents, we're all guilty of it, like not looking at the numbers. How important is it for you?
And I think it's tough, Renee, isn't it? Because we tend to shun that as an activity because sometimes we don't want to see what the numbers are telling us, right?
Right, right.
But just in developing more business maturity, that's become important for me. Like tracking
Okay.
those numbers, what does that look like? And what are they telling us,
And
right?
that tells us right there, just it sounds like you recognizing 5, 10 an hour has taught you, wow, I have no time to waste. You've connected those dots. So here's a question for you. Today we were, hard work, the term hard work has almost got a bad rap, or its view has gotten skewed, right? A lot of new licensees, especially, get into the business and I want to make $1 million, but I haven't sold a house yet, but I'm going to make 1 million. So the result is really clear for a lot of people, but not the work to get there. What is your definition of hard work?
That's a great question. And I do think that I agree with you, Renee, especially in this day and age where there's people on YouTube making $4 million, and that kind of gets pushed in our face, doesn't it? So
Right.
why can't I have this quicker,
Oh.
faster, and easier?
Mm-hmm. So
And I
when
look
you
so
say for yourself, like what's your definition, like the Adam Chahl of hard work, like a tip, how do you know you're working hard enough to earn those results that you're
yeah.
getting?
And I think it comes back again, Renee, to numbers. For me, it's like how many people a day do I need to speak to? Right? That's what I
Right.
would say. If I'm doing my job at the highest level, I'm talking to the people I need to, I'm presenting to them, I'm meeting with people, I'm getting in front of people. That's the controllables that I can control. So for me, that's my definition of hard work.
I like that. So as long as you're getting in front of people, you're following your schedule, you're doing your job, in other words, that's the hard work, which by it sounds of it, doesn't necessarily have to be hard. But you know, at Mike Ferry coaching, that's what we talk about: efficient, effective, productive, and profitable. Those
Absolutely.
are the four. And it sounds like as long as you're checking off those boxes, you're having a great day. Now, you also mentioned practicing. And I know you're big on practice, Adam. You're tell us a bit about why you practice, what do you practice, and how does it benefit you?
Absolutely. So I have a role play group that I'm in from 7:30 till 8 a.m. every Monday through Friday.
Okay.
The great thing about that, and I would encourage if you're not in a role play group, I would definitely look into one, is that I don't have to worry about finding role play partners.
Nice.
Right? Every week I rotate and it's a new person. So next week it could be Dan Mum, it could be Marlene Ritzman, heavy hitters in the group. And I don't have to worry about that. So that's one thing I'm outsourcing by just paying to be in that group.
Beautiful. Okay.
What are we practicing? So we're going through everything. So that could be just listed, just sold scripts, expired scripts. You could be working with your past clients' COI database, objection handlers, everything, René, from A to Z.
Wow.
And that could be, you set that up with your role play partner during the week.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so you've invested your own money to pay to be a part of a group of role play partners with some heavy hitters. But Adam, doesn't that make you nervous? Don't you get uncomfortable? Why would you do that?
I think it does feel uncomfortable at times. After a while, though, it becomes habitual, doesn't it?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, right? It becomes a habit, right?
We're developing that muscle. Yeah.
Yeah, you're developing the muscle by working out with the tougher partners. I like that. And you've seen that improve your business.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
That's great. So in terms of you're in a couple groups. I know they're gonna Rajiv is messaging. You know, what can you guys can get in touch with Adam at the end. He'll put his contact info out there, and you guys can reach out to him. But how important is accountability? You know, if you hang around Mike Ferry groups long enough, there's Adam's info, guys. You want to screenshot it or take a picture. He's available for all of your Vancouver referrals as well. What role does accountability have in your business? How has it helped you grow your business?
I feel as independent contractors, Mike will talk about this being a blessing and a curse, right?
Right.
And I feel that's huge with the business we have. Yeah. So accountability of things like being in an office at a certain time, working out when you say you will, right? Those kind of levels of accountability have really helped me. I run a Zoom group much like this from 8 till 11 PST. If you guys want to join, you're more than welcome. East the West Coast time. And we prospect together. So if I'm not on that call at 8 a.m., I've got 10 people texting me say, oh, did you get run over by a bus? Like, where are you? So that in itself, it doesn't have to be monetary. Yeah. But just having those people that are relying on you, René.
Yes.
So to answer your question, accountability is huge.
So yeah, that's great. Did you guys all pick up what Adam just said there? He said people are counting on him. It doesn't have to be monetary, right? He has these partners. If he doesn't show up, they ask him, where are you? What happened? You're not here. It's 9:05. You know, we're starting. Who do you have that's holding you accountable in your business, right? Mm-hmm. Who do you have that's holding you accountable to the goals that you've set? Because it's one thing for you to kind of set a goal or set that I'm going to do X activity. But if, like Adam said, Mike talks about it all the time. If you're an independent contractor, like every single one on this call is, it's a blessing or a curse. No one's watching you, right? And rarely
I would say, René,
care.
I would say, René, like Rajiv's comment, you know, how can I join that role play group? Definitely, like join the role play group. But if you can't join one, start one. Mm-hmm. What's better accountability than that, right? Be the leader.
Yes. Right? So you bringing up my next question here, Adam, is being groups, being the leader, you know, people, this organization you're part of. I see you at almost every live Mike Ferry event. And you're all the way in the West Coast. And a lot of times people say, well, the Canadians, you know, they come, but not every Canadian person comes. The flight, the hotel, you got to convert everything to US. You're always there. Tell us, how important are live events for you and your business in your growth over the last couple of years?
I think, René, and it's always great to see so many people on this call. We see them there at the events too. I mean, if you're coming away with 1 or 2 shifts that you can apply to your business, I mean, even if it's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, doesn't that make it worth it?
True.
I mean, if you're going to produce one extra, if you're going to be able to help one extra family this year because you went to Vegas for a week, I mean, the net return is there.
Right.
Plus, you're going to meet 100 other agents that are like-minded people. You can set up those accountabilities, those mastermind groups, everything you need. It's a one-stop shop.
It is a one-stop shop. So you heard that I seen Adam at the event, and he has he's meeting people, he's exchanging cards, he's meeting people he doesn't know. That's where I see him. He's creating all these relationships while he's there, and he's at the front of the room talking to the top producers. And when we brought Adam today because his business has exploded and grown by following a system, and as you can see, he wasn't always like this. He started, like a lot of people start, just kind of learning the system, but he got there by doing the things we're talking about today. So it sounds like you do a lot also for your mindset, Adam. I think all of us are picking up that you have a great mindset. You've got a great business, but a lot of what we're hearing is pretty positive. How do you keep that? What do you do for your mindset?
I think this ties in, René, just to our last point. We talked about going to the events, and I'll just backtrack a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Mike or somebody on stage once made a comment at one of my first events I went to, and they said, some of the people here in this room are my best friends. And when I heard that for the first time, I kind of laughed. I'm like, well, that's kind of dumb, right? Like my friends are at home, and I love my friends at home. But what's interesting now that I've been in the system this long is some of the people that I talk to every day are some of my best friends. And they're agents, they're supportive, they're on the same track as us. And I met them all at the events, right?
Wow.
So when you tie that into mindset and who you're spending time with, who you're talking to, who you're sharing your goals with, sometimes that's not your family anymore. Sometimes that's not your friend group, right? Sometimes that is the people that you meet through this great network that we have. So to answer your question about mindset, I'd say that's a huge part of that.
That is a big point that Adam just put down. Thank you, Adam. Is that you may not have those friends and colleagues in your current office or your environment, maybe not even in your own family, that thinks big or thinks at that level, right, where you want to actually be. But the minute you get off the plane and you get into these events, actually, they may even be on your plane, flying down with you. You start masterminding, learning from people like an Adam Chahl or a Mr. B or a Femi, a Rajiv. These are people that are big players or they're going places. You get to meet and hang out with them at these live events, and they're there to learn from each other as well. So that's where you get your mindset. A lot of that, I like that. So now when we talk about your business today, right? There's a key word that I always find when we're talking about growing a business is momentum. It sounds like you've developed some really good momentum in your business, in your habits, in your schedule. What do you do to kind of keep momentum going so that you continue to grow?
Yeah, and I think it comes down to those granular habits, René. There's no, we talked about that instant gratification before. I think it's that hard work and the realization there is no magic pill. Right. There is nobody that's going to sell us those ads that are, hey, you can do 100 deals a year without calling anybody, talking to anybody, doing anything from your pajamas, and you can sit in bed and do it. It's just not that. It's not the way that the world works.
Right.
So doing those daily activities, keeping on the schedule, it's not hard. We just have to keep that momentum going. Right.
So staying on your schedule, it sounds like if you can do that, get up, show up. You talked about doing your job, getting up in front of people. That creates the momentum for you. That's really big. And so
I think the schedule, René, I think the schedule is key on that, right? Like hitting your schedule and hitting your morning is key. We were at Super Bowl last night watching Super Bowl with a few friends. We left with 4 minutes to go in the Super Bowl. Everyone's like, where are you going? I'm like, I got to go home. I got to prep for the week.
Huh.
Look, well, there's 4 minutes left of the game. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I got to go home, right? I got to get this
Right.
week going. Because if I'm late to bed, I'm tired the next morning, I'm not getting up, I'm not doing my workout, I'm not getting the results I need. So we left.
Wow. And I hope you all picked that up because Adam is on West Coast time. So for him to leave 4 minutes early, it was a hell of a lot earlier than us on the East Coast who watched it.
Yes.
It
There you
stayed up
go.
till almost midnight, right? He got out at like 7, 8 o'clock, and by the way, missed the end of the game. But Adam, so this is interesting. So your priorities when it comes to your business, it sounds like, I mean, you were literally at the Super Bowl yesterday and you left before the end. It sounds like this business is, you've prioritized it right on top. Has it always been there?
No,
No.
I would
How
I
did
would
it
say
get there? How
I
did it
think
get at the top?
two things really stand out to me. The first is I'm too old really to do anything else, Renee. I've been doing this too long. So
Okay.
I try and go and get a job and they're like, what have you been doing for 50? Like you've been a realtor, you've got no experience in anything else. So I'm really screwed in that sense, right?
Right, right.
And the second thing I would share is when I was coaching with you, Renee, you actually gave me a task one day and you said, I need you to go to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Need you to go on your local LinkedIn in Vancouver, BC, and find me a job that will pay you at that time $380,000 a year.
Yeah.
Find me a job that will pay you that much. Oh gosh, I think there's one, and it's like CEO of a tech firm.
Yeah.
And okay, well, what would they expect you to do in that job?
Yeah.
Right? What would be expected of you hours per week, meetings you have, investors you'd be meeting with? It's like, man, we're blessed to have this, right?
We really are. Wow, Adam, that's good that you remembered your coaching assignment from 5 years ago. But yes, that was an assignment that I could give to all of you right now. Go on LinkedIn, see that number that you say you want to make, type it in, right? Or today, you even do it in Google. Ask ChatGPT to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
What does, someone who in my town where I live, wherever you are, what jobs are available for me? And honestly, it's like two or three, Adam. It's usually three or four. And the lists, oh my God, Adam's like 7 pages, 8 pages long of duties and responsibilities.
But
Right.
you're asking me to talk to 10 people today, my database?
Yeah. People that you know, like you, and trust you for
I don't
1 hour in
know.
the morning and 2 in the afternoon. Come on. Very good. So, guys, wow, the time, I don't even know where it went. We have time for some questions from Mr. Adam Chahl. I think he gave us a lot today, and we don't want to keep him from his prospecting. Who has some great question or any question? Every single question is good. We learn by asking questions, right? What's something you'd like to know from Adam or something that he said that you're curious about?
So, Adam, what sources are you focusing on right now to not only build your business but continue it?
Yeah. We're up in Canada. A lot of people on this call are from Canada, Weston. So we're blessed in the sense that our data is a little bit trickier than you guys down in the States,
Yeah.
right? We don't get as much interesting data that you guys get. Most of my business comes from my database. So past clients, COI. My goal, and one of the points, Renee, I'm sure you know which one, of the Mike Ferry sales system is build your database to 1,000 people as quickly as we can. That's
True.
really what I'm focusing on right now.
That's
So,
true. That is very big. And thanks for that question, Weston. And that is a really good question. What's, a goal that we all should have is growing that database to a sizable level, because we talk about it at Mike Ferry Coaching, 10% rule. You'll get 10% of that business coming back to you every year as long as you grow that list.
And Mike talked about that this morning, Renee, in terms of your closing percentage, or the percentage that you will close on a listing presentation from your database.
Yeah.
Versus somebody that you don't know.
Right. Right.
And some of the top. Yeah.
Yeah. Those two numbers.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, I see another question. Vanessa, superstar Vanessa. What?
Well, yeah, my question is, my goal is to grow my database also. What are you doing to grow your database?
That's awesome. Great question, Vanessa. So a couple of things I'm focusing on this year, and it's a little bit more organic. So I'm joining some new clubs that I haven't done before. So we're probably going to join a sailing club. I'm going to join a car club to meet more people in that sense. And also what I've just done is I've just exported. If you guys want a link to this, I can send you a video on how to do it. I've exported this morning all of my Facebook friends, all of my Instagram friends. And I'm going to go through those, Vanessa, and reconnect with people that should know about me, but I have done a terrible job of reaching out on.
Ooh, I like that.
And your phone, René, too. You pick up your phone, but think how many people we have on our phone. And I can send you guys a link to how to do this too, is exporting your phone. How many people in your phone that you know, that you've talked to, that you give money to, your friends, that you're not calling, they're not in your database? So I would look at those three easy things.
Great tip. That could make everyone a ton of money on this call. Mr. Darren Brothers, who I also get to meet the pleasure at these events. Thank you for joining us. Question.
No, thank you for having me. Yeah, quick question. What are you doing for mindset? Just to stay consistent and continuously, do what you're supposed to do every day. What are some of the things that Adam's doing?
Yeah, man, great question. And it's tough. I'm with you out there, especially when we're doing kind of the repetitive, the repetitive boredom of the same call. So morning time, I think for me, getting up at the same time every day, getting that exercise in is key, right? I'll do a meditation. It's usually a Tony Robbins meditation, like the priming thing he has. I like to do that. So it'll be a meditation in the morning. And then the biggest thing for me in the last 6 months has been my Zoom group. Like getting on a call group with people, and we will have a ton of fun, and we'll be like, oh my gosh, that guy hung up on you. And it's so much more supportive than doing it by yourself. So I don't know. Do you have a Zoom group, Darren?
Yes, sir. Milton has a group.
Oh, nice. Well, exactly.
Oh, the Milton James group. Yes. So getting in a group, connecting with that's great. Yeah, that's
perfect.
Great.
Yeah. And that for me, that really helps.
Perfect. Mr. B, and then Weston. I think Weston has another question. Mr. B, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Adam, for taking the time to educate us, give us some energy there. I have a few questions. Question number one, what time do you go to sleep? You mentioned those, but 9 o'clock, very good. And the goals, how do you set them up? Like I'm part of many groups, and right now I started the 12 weeks a year challenge group, which is very intense. How do you set up your goals? Like you have daily, weekly, 3 months, and do you set your goals of tomorrow from today? Like, do you write them down? It is also related to a mindset, as Darren asked. How do you?
Great question. I appreciate that. So in terms of my goals, I do have goals set weekly in terms of people I need to talk to and appointments I need to go on. Yes. Do I do a good job of having them in front of me? I have my deal goal and my money goal in front of me, but I don't have a weekly goal in front of me. So I would say that's probably something I could definitely be better at. Writing that out. I write down every day. I write down the deals I'll do, the money I'll make. I also write down the money I lose out on from not calling my database.
Ooh.
We can talk about that if you want. But that's a good point. I should be setting.
He writes down how much he's losing if he doesn't do the call. Wow.
Yeah.
That's right. So yes, Mr. B, great question. And I should have a 3x5 card weekly. That's a good point.
Very nice. That's a coaching tip there. Weston Bim.
Yeah, so just a quick follow-up question to what I think it was Vanessa asked a moment ago. For you to build your database, with me being younger, for example, I don't have the phone numbers of folks that I went to high school with, and not really most of what college. So would you reach out to them on social media? How would you reach out to them? And more importantly, what would you say to them to kind of grab them and get a conversation going?
I would absolutely do that. Absolutely message them on social. And I would take as best you can that conversation off social and move it to the phone and email. So it would be a very similar MFO question. Hey, Weston, it's Adam. I don't know if you know, but I'm in real estate. Curious if you'd be open or opposed to me keeping you up to date on the market. What's going on in your area? Sure. Okay. What's the best phone for you?
Okay, and then just get phone number and email from there, and then just follow up.
I saw on Facebook the other day a realtor in my market had done a high school or a reunion, and he'd sponsored it.
Wow. Sponsor your high school reunion. I like that one.
He paid for the drinks, the food, and obviously I'm sure he got a whole bunch of names and phone numbers from that. So
that would have been a great way. Simone, you have your hand up. Simone, I've seen at events as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Renee and Adam, setting this up. This is
You're
very
welcome.
motivational and a lot of good information.
Good.
The very quick question, Adam, since your majority of the business is COI, past clients, right? What are the main 2 or 3 things that you do to serve those clients, right, on a monthly or a quarterly basis?
great question.
That is actually generating, some good referrals for you.
Yeah, great question. So I will call quarterly. I will mail every 3 months as well, whether that's a market update, postcard, like an Easter card, a Christmas card, or something like that. And I will email monthly. So I will email monthly. I will also send a birthday card. I'll give you an example here.
Oh, wow.
I will send a birthday card with scratch and win tickets in, Simone. This is my tip for your COI. Birthday card with scratch and win tickets generates a conversation every time. Every time.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yes.
Birthday
Go
card
through
with
your
scratch and
database,
win.
make sure you have everybody there. Ask your office or ask your lender if you don't have their birthday. In BC, in Canada, where we are, we have to check ID. So I can go through my old email and I can find everyone's birthday.
Yeah.
Email.
That is very neat. That's true. And that you would be able to do that here in Toronto,
There you go.
GTA as well. Very good. Adam, thank you so much.
you.
Give us
Thank you.
one last tip for someone who might be struggling in their business or newer. What's one thing you could tell them that you've learned from coaching that, could get them moving?
I would say get your database organized. Everybody that you know, every past client you've had, everybody you've interacted with, get them in a database and start calling those people. Wow. You should be getting a 10% return on that. So if you have 200 people that you know, within 18 months, that should be producing you 20 deals.
Look at that.
So I would work on that every day.
Speaking from experience, Mr. Adam Chahl, thank you. You want to look him up on social. His information is in there. Message me or if you don't have it, and I can connect you with him. For all your referrals so Adam, how do we reach you for referrals? What's the best way?
Absolutely.
Which area do you service?
So I'm in Greater Vancouver, so we service the Greater Vancouver and the Fraser Valley area. You can call me 778-385-6141. I'll put the details in the chat. Yep. Or you can email me, adam@chahl.com. That's CHAHL.com. Easy
enough. Well, guys and gals, thank you all for coming. This is great, right? We learned a lot. Let's give Adam a kind of virtual clap. I think he did great. So if there's other people that might benefit from this, or you missed some of it, message me. I can send you the recording, and let's keep growing our business. Back to work, everybody. Thanks so much.
Renee.
Take care. See you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.